Namaskar. I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You're watching us on PM eVidya channels 6 to 12 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. This is a session on virtual labs where the topic that we are taking up is demonstration of simulation to show that non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. This particular topic of science is specifically meant for our students of grade 7, but anybody can contribute in the session by participating through their questions, suggestions and feedback. And there are ways to do that. Please give us a call on 8800440559. We also have a dedicated email ID for you, that is diksha.training@ciet.nic.in. And on our YouTube handle NCERT Official, you can send us your questions, suggestions and of course your feedback. To make our sessions all the more inclusive and engaging, we are joined by our Indian Sign Language interpreter, Ms. Bhumi. Namaskar, we welcome you to the session. Now, when we think of virtual labs, of course, many of you already know about it because we have been doing this series for quite some time now. But those who have joined us today for the very first time, let me tell you, Virtual Lab is a wonderful online application that helps you perform simulation across disciplines, and that too on, at your own time, space and convenience. All you need is a stable internet connection so that you can access all the features of Virtual Lab and an IoT device. Now, it is very convenient to use and it has different content as per the learning preferences of our diverse learners. When we will try to understand this topic through virtual labs, you will see how there is a lot of content to make you understand the concept first and then go for the simulation. And we are not just limited to performing simulation. There is assessment as well, self-assessment I'm talking about. Now, one more interesting part about Virtual Lab is that it is available in different languages, though it is a work in progress, but we will keep on adding more languages because we want to make it truly inclusive in nature. We often talk about immersive learning, experiential learning, and Virtual Lab is providing you that only. When we think of science, when we think of mathematics and performing experiments, real physical laboratories come to our mind. But can we perform the experiments through same accuracy and precision digitally? This is something very interesting that you'll be witnessing in this session today. So I have got my questions ready and I hope that you have your questions ready too. If you've already studied the concept, well and good, you can now see how more nicely you can understand it through virtual labs. And if you're having queries, if you're having problem in the concept, in the learning of concept, in its understanding, then our expert is there to help you. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Anjana Bhardwaj. Ma'am is Consultant Academic from CIET, NCERT, New Delhi. Ma'am, namaskar and very warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
There's a lot that we have been talking about virtual labs, Now, before I ask you questions related to the topic, one question, that is it the replacement of real physical laboratories?
No, there is no replacement of real physical laboratories. Virtual labs are just additional support to that of real laboratories.
Great. Now we're talking about simulation of chemistry, right? And when I think of chemistry, I really want to go to the physical laboratory. I want to hold the test tube and the beaker. I want to perform the experiment myself. But am I going to get the same kind of, I would say learning through virtual lab when it comes to performing the experiments of chemistry?
Yes, correct. The access which you get to the real laboratories, same environment you will get into the virtual labs. We can say that virtual labs are very important in terms of science and in the form of chemistry also. When performing experiments in real laboratories sometimes get difficult because it involves the chemicals, reactions and the evolution of hydrogen gas, bubbles, which are sometimes very difficult, and we can say that difficult for analysis also to the students. But at the same time, if we provide the access to the virtual labs to those students, so it will be very easy and convenient for them to understand those complex concepts which they can't be understand in the real laboratories. First, you can go through the theory part, procedure part, animation part and other resources also which are available on virtual labs. Then you will perform in the real laboratories. Then you will get to know actual how that hydrogen gas evolve, how you can which you cannot see through the naked eye.
That's right.
That you can see through the virtual lab. labs. Also, when we talk about the rural areas where the real laboratories are limited, and we can say that instrumentations are very limited to in those areas.
Yes.
In that area, if teacher provide access to all the students of the virtual lab, then it will be very easy for them also, and very convenient for them also. So we can say that in the terms of science or mathematics or any subject, virtual labs are very important.
Exactly, you made a very valid point. Well, the places where we have limited infrastructure, resources are not enough, and especially for those students who are not going for regular schooling, you know, they are studying through open schooling and unconventional schooling systems. For that, virtual lab is a very important, I would say, tool if they want to make their career in sciences. And not just students, the homemakers out there, members of general public, anybody who's interested in science and want to know more about that can go for virtual labs. Am I right?
Yes,
okay.
You're right.
Because it's free for everybody. Now, I want to ask you about the topic today that we are going to study. So, how we can learn this topic through virtual lab? What exactly this topic is all about?
Yes, I'll explain. Today we are going to learn about grade 7 topic, that how non-metallic oxides are basic in nature. In the previous sessions, we have studied about the metallic oxides which are acidic in nature. We will learn that how when we dip the pH paper in solution, whether in non-metallic oxide or in metallic oxide solutions, that how the color changes from red to blue or blue to red. And also we will study their daily life applications. For example, today we will study about non-metallic oxides, and the example most important is CO2. Carbon is non-metal, and oxide, carbon react with the oxygen which is present in the atmosphere, then it forms non-metallic oxide, that is CO2. And we will see that CO2 is very important in our nature for breathing process also, and it is present in soft drinks also. And some other examples are SO2, we can sulfur oxide. This is how we will study daily life examples also. And there are two other oxides also, amphoteric oxides and neutral oxides. So amphoteric oxides are those which react with acids and base both, and the neutral oxides are those which do not react with neither with acid nor with base. And non-metallic oxides react with basic, and metallic oxides react with acidic. So we will learn about these oxides also.
Great. And you know, we have been listening to the fact that all the content of virtual lab is in alignment with our NCERT textbooks. And our NCERT textbooks, these are energized textbooks, talking textbooks. So I want to ask you, what if I want to access virtual labs through my NCERT textbooks? Is it possible?
Yes, correct, bilkul, it's possible. I'll show you that this is the grade 7th textbook, Curiosity. You can see. And when we open this textbook, on the top of every chapter, you can see that here chapter 4, the world of metals and non-metals. So you can see that on top of every chapter there is a QR code.
That's right.
So for scan that, you have to download Diksha app on your phones, and Diksha app you can download from Play Store, which is free of cost available. When you click on Diksha app, you can see there is a QR code scanner. When you click on this, you will click on the QR code and it will get scanned, and all the content of virtual lab will be available on that platform. All the chapters of that specific book, and inside the chapter all the topics will be covered, and for that individual chapter all the resources are available like audio content, video content, and there is a virtual lab content. So through QR codes and through textbook you can get access to those virtual labs through the Diksha app, which is available on Play Store.
And what if I don't have the textbook right now? Then how to access virtual labs?
Yes, you can access to those virtual labs through the browser or through your laptop, phones, anything. So you will see on screen that I will write www.diksha.gov.in. Then you will land onto the page of Diksha. So here you can see that textbooks. Now you will click on view all textbooks, and here you will see in the right side there is a board organization NCERT, medium is English. Under class you have to select class 7th because today's topic is from class 7.
Right.
And subject is science. So you can see that the class 7 textbook Curiosity is there. When you click on this, you will see on the right side all the chapters of the textbook are covered. And because today's topic is from chapter 4, the world of metals and non-metals, so I'll click on this. Here you can see that e-textbook, audio content and virtual lab content. Under the virtual lab content, I will select on acidic properties of non-metallic oxides, which is today's topic.
Right.
So before going to the simulation, self-evaluation and animation of procedure, theory is very important because understanding of concept of that particular topic is very important. So we will learn a little bit about non-metallic oxides, which are acidic in nature. So non-metal are the chemical element that lacks the majority of metallic qualities in chemistry, and they range from colorless gases such as hydrogen to glossy and have high melting point solids. So non-metal electrons act differently than that of the metal electrons, and non-metals, with few exceptions, resulting in poor conductors of heat and electricity. And the other side, we can say that metals are the strong conductors of heat and electricity. Because their electrons are freely moving, and in that case of non-metal, this phenomenon is absent. So mostly non-metals have biological, technical or household roles or applications. So examples are hydrogen, oxygen, carbon and nitrogen. And non-metal applications have specific medicine and pharmaceuticals, lighting and lasers and domestic products also. While the word non-metallic has been used since at least 1566, but there is no universally accepted technical definition of a non-metal. So what happened when the non-metal react with the oxygen present in the atmosphere, then it will form the non-metal oxide. So this is the periodic table, and here you can see that the elements or metals which are marked with blue are the non-metals.
Okay.
And the noble gases are also lies under the non-metals. And the yellow color elements are representing metalloids, and the p block elements and s block elements are metals. Also f block elements are metals. So it is well known that elements at the extreme left of the periodic table readily mix with oxygen to create the most basic oxides, while those at the extreme right generate the most acidic oxides. So we can say that extreme right is this, the representing with red color. So they form the acidic oxides, and at the extreme left will form the basic oxides. The transition element oxides in the center are either amphoteric or neutral, which I already mentioned that amphoteric oxides react with both acidic as well as with basic, and neutral oxides are those which did not react with neither acidic nor with basic. So non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature, and the reaction which involve is non-metal plus oxygen form non-metal oxide. Here some of the examples, like sulfur oxide SO2 react with H2O to form sulfurous acid, that is H2SO3. And here carbonic acid is formed when carbon dioxide CO2 react with water. So these are some of the examples, and after get to the theory, now we will perform the simulation part, which is here we can see that under simulation show that non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. When we click on this, then this simulation will be open. In the left side there are instructions. We have to follow these instructions to perform the simulation in the virtual lab. Now first drag and drop the lighter towards the spirit lamp to burn it. So this is the lighter, you have to drag and it get burned. Click the bottle cap to open the sulfur bottle. Now drag and drop the spoon towards the bottle. We have to drag this. Now drag and drop the spoon with sulfur powder towards the spirit lamp to burn the powder. Now wait till the sulfur powder is completely dissolved and form a burning sulfur. And now here on the burning of sulfur, reaction involves sulfur react with oxygen present in atmosphere to form sulfur dioxide SO2. Now you have to drag this spoon towards the glass jar and wait for few minutes so that the gas gets collected inside this glass jar. Now you have to click on the spoon, click on the gas jar so that it can shake well, and therefore sulfur gas completely now dissolve. Now click on this lid to open the gas jar. Now you have to drag and drop this gas jar towards the watch glass. Now we have get this gas here. Now we have to move those litmus papers, blue and red, towards this watch glass, and we can see that here red litmus paper does not show any change, whereas on dipping the blue litmus paper it will change to red. So it confirms that the non-metallic oxide, which is SO2, is acidic in nature. When if the solution is basic, then red color changes to blue, but it is acidic, so blue turns to red. So it confirms the presence of non-metallic oxides, which is acidic in nature. So after performing the demonstration, we have to self-evaluate ourselves also. So for that we will click on this self-evaluation part, which is show that non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Now this is the self-evaluation. First question, which of the following statements is true for acids? Sour and change red to blue, bitter and change blue to red, bitter and change red litmus to blue, and sour and change blue litmus to red. So we have observed that blue changes to red, and these are the sour in nature. So green color represents that it is correct. Now the more non-metallic character of an element represents, more non-metallic means more acidic, which we have studied recently. Now the next question is, the metal in metal oxide replaces the hydrogen from acid, so that hydrogen gas get evolved. Now next question, the formation of metal oxide on the surface of the metal is called anodizing. So anodizing is a basic process in which we protect the surface to get corrode. So this is the process which is known as anodizing. Now SO3 plus MgOH whole twice form magnesium sulfate plus water. This is sulfur trioxide. Now next, black copper oxide dissolves in colorless sulfuric acid to give. Now I'll show you that how the correct or incorrect answer will represent. Now if I choose the wrong one, then it will represent that the red color is wrong and the green color represent the correct answer. So this is how you can get the feedback at the same time of the question, so that you can go through back to the theory process or the any other resources to understand that concept again. Now next question, the reaction between copper oxide and nitric acid forms copper, nitrate and water. Now the next question, the oxide that can form salt and water with the base as well with acid is called aluminium oxide, because it is amphoteric oxide. So Al2O3 is the correct one. Now metallic oxides react with dash to give salts in water, similar to the reaction of dash with an acid. So with acid, base will react so that metallic oxides are formed, and the metallic oxides are said to be basic oxides. So here metallic oxides are basic, so base react with acid and acid react with base. So this is the correct one. Now the next question. Okay, we have performed all the 10 questions. In the last you will get score also. If you want to retry, you can retry at any step. If you want to check the solutions of all the questions, here you can see that all the solutions of questions are available. You can reset it, replay it, or you can do it again and again. This is how you can self-evaluate yourselves to understand the concept, because self-evaluation is very important to for any process, or you can say for any exam or anything. So
that's very important, and it's very important for the teacher as well. In fact, teacher can also check, where the child stands in terms of understanding, and then she or he can customize the lesson plan as per the requirements of the child. Now, ma'am, suppose this is for grade 7, but I still want to, brush up what I have learnt in previous class. Can I go back to the previous class experiment and perform the same? Also, I'm through with all the concepts of class 7. Now I want to, read further, learn further. Can I perform the experiments of higher classes?
Yes, of course, you can perform of higher classes as well as of lower classes also. For example, if you want to learn about organic compounds, or you can learn about any metal compounds. So, if you are in grade 11th, if you are studying about the periodic table, you can go back to the class 9th or class 10th also. So where you can study all the components, all the carbon and its compound chapters, so that it will be very easier for you to get to learn in the class 11th also. And if you want to study of higher class, for example, you are in class 9th, now you want to study of the periodic table which is available in grade 11th, you can explore that as well. So there is no limitation or no boundary that if you are in grade 7, then it's compulsory for you to study only grade 7th. No, it's not like that. You can study for grade 6 to grade 12th of any subject, any topic or any content which is available on virtual labs.
That's nice. And we know that this is in alignment with NCERT textbooks. What I need more reference material, can I have more references?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I'll show you that. Here, when you click on this view all textbooks and when you go, see in the left side there all classes available.
Yes.
Now if I click on class 7th and the topic is of science, so curiosity. So under any chapter you will see all the resources of all topics are available. Procedure is also available. If you want to go through the video, then this animation is also available, and all other resources are also available at the same panel. So you can go through to any of the resources.
There's a lot of reference material available basically.
Yes, correct.
And now I'm a user of these virtual labs, but I want these virtual labs to have some kind of improvement, you know. So can I share my feedback with you?
Yes, of course, you can mail us on this
Diksha's email ID?
Yes, correct. So we continuously overlook to this email ID and will love to get your feedback so that we can improvise ourselves also and incorporate those feedbacks.
So diksha.training at CIET.nic.in is that email ID. And lastly, a word for the teachers. As an academician yourself, you know the pros, I would say all the pros of virtual labs. But to all the teachers out there who are probably not using them right now, what advice would you give to them to integrate virtual labs in their routine teaching learning? How is it going to help them a big time?
Yes, I can say that as an academician, virtual labs are important for teachers as well, as they can integrate these virtual labs into their lesson plans and they can provide as in the form of assignments to the students also, that if you perform these virtual labs, they will get reward for that, so that they will get the better understanding of these concepts. Also, we can say that in the class there are numerous students and all students have their pace of learning is different.
Yeah.
So in that case, if a teacher provide those access to the virtual lab to all the students, then they can learn at their own pace, which is very important for a teacher as well, because it get easier for teacher to understand, to make them understand those complex concepts of chemistry, or if they want to show any reaction, so they can understand them or show them to the students beautifully in the virtual lab. So we can say that yes, for teachers as well, virtual labs are very important.
And it is not a replacement of teachers. It is no threat to teachers.
Support. Yes.
So this is just an additional support that we are there to provide you. And of course, it is very important, especially for those students who learn through visual mode well, because we are now talking about learning by doing, experiential learning, and through virtual labs you're performing the simulations. And ma'am, can we perform these experiments in the real physical laboratories with same accuracy and precision after getting prepared, after performing the simulation in virtual labs?
As you have mentioned, learning by doing. Yeah, correct. When you perform in the virtual lab, then you will perform in the real labs. So obviously it will be very easier for them and they will perform it with more accuracy
and more speedily.
Yes,
so you'll save time and of course in examinations you will perform well. So if you have any problem in any concept, learn it through virtual lab, apply that knowledge, and you can definitely score well in the examination. Learning is going to be joyful now and not at all a burdensome task for you. So ma'am, thank you so much. It was a wonderful session, thank you for sharing your valuable inputs with us. I must thank my Indian Sign Language interpreter Ms. Bhumi along with my entire team for making this session a success. Thank you so much. But this is not the end. Tomorrow we'll be coming up with another session of Virtual Lab where we will be taking up the subject English. But what's coming up next now? For the same, we have entire program schedule. So we're through with a session of virtual labs. In a short while from now, you'll be watching our next session at 11 o'clock. This is going to be our last session, and topic is right there in front of you. Then at 12 we will have a session of teaching learning interventions for inclusive classrooms. Subject will be science. Rest of the sessions will follow from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and that will include our online training program as well as a session called Sahyog. With this, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, signing off, and will join you shortly. Namaskar.